Alliance of Baptists, where you're able to come in, be love, demonstrate love through justice, through service, through being the hands, eyes, ears, feet of God. That's what the Alliance of Baptists, that's what we are about.
The biggest thing about Alliance is that there's a shared spirit among congregations. So, as with many Baptist churches, you see something a little different in every congregation, but the way that these congregations apply their spirit. And for me, I've been a part of 3 Alliance congregations, and for all 3 of them, I have been surprised and delighted in different ways about how they share a spirit of service, a spirit of love, a spirit of missional opportunities, and a desire just to be in community with one another and live out God's calling for them.
Most religious organizations now are fighting about the past and about who they can kick out. The Alliance is a group of people who are genuinely excited about the future and about change. And if you live in New York City, you have to love change. You have to love diversity. You have to love the fact that every third person speaks a different language, looks differently, and be excited by that. And the Alliance has that kind of excitement about the future. It's not afraid of change. And that's something special.
It's a group willing to tackle the issues. I think the Alliance, again, at its best, often looks for the minority perspective and tries to represent those who don't have a voice or whose voice isn't heard.
I guess I would encourage someone who asked, who is the Alliance? And you know, I want to know more. I would encourage them to talk to Alliance people, because everybody's willing to talk about their own perspective. And so the more people you talk about, the more of a full picture you might get. I would encourage them to come to a gathering. We have every year a convocation, which is kind of a fancy term for basically like a gathering of people. And in some ways it's like a family reunion if you know a lot of people. In other ways it's a way to come in and get to know people. So the convocation is kind of the biggest gathering, but there are smaller ones, spirituality events, and all of that is listed and explained on the website. There's ways to register, you know, there's ways to ask for more information. So I guess that's really, the people and the events are kind of the best entryway in, I would think, to really start to begin to understand who the Alliance is. And one of the things you'll find is that we do not subscribe to definitions and labels in the same ways that a lot of other people do. So you might hear one thing from one person and something a little bit different from someone else, but that's okay, because that's part of who we are and part of our diversity. So it's really a relationship and a partnership among people who, for the most part, share the same values and want to move forward. So the more you get to know different people, the more you're going to understand who the Alliance is.
It is difficult to be a Baptist church and to seek a welcome for all people, regardless of race, age, economics, sexual orientation. And so how can we learn how to do that unless we listen to people that have done that and are doing that? So we need to build these alliances with congregations that are willing to take those risky steps of Christian ministry, and we need to have the opportunity as congregations to listen and learn from what they're doing and how to do that more effectively.